any moment, I can be interrupted by one of my family members, by a glass breaking into shards on the floor, by like the fire alarm. Who knows? Like, this is life, okay? And life be lifing. So anyway, what I want to hop on here and talk to you about real quick is how religion teaches women to suffer in marriages. And I have a lot of experience in that department. I was married to my high school sweetheart for almost 20 years. And you don't be married 20 years without going through some things, right? And during those things that I was going through, a lot of the help I sought out was from religious teachings and from religious authors and women that I thought were really neat and cool and just so inspired by. But these women were of the faith, right? Now, I am a woman of faith, right? But I had to change my faith from a certain type of book that was not giving me results that I needed in my life. So anyway, my book that I wrote, Good Woman, Bad Arrangement, The Sacred Vows That Silenced Her, that flips the script on a lot of teaching that taught women to suffer in silence. I go in detail, scripture by scripture, and just look at it from a point of view that is actually pro-woman. That's actually like more beneficial to the woman instead of serving the program or serving the patriarchy, or you know. And so when you stop taking all of that type of advice to just turn the other cheek, when you stop listening to the meek will inherit the world, the earth, and that all of the time you put into your relationship and all of your efforts, that it will benefit you one day, maybe after you're dead and gone, just like you're going to get to heaven after you're dead and gone. I don't know. I'm just saying. Once you stop listening from that perspective, hey, and you start listening to your own heart and to your own intuition, your own woman's intuition about the situation that you're in, then you start to realize that you can't necessarily put all your faith in this religious book and these texts and these authors that want you to follow a script that was made way before we were even born, that millions of other women that tried to follow but end up dying before they ever got their happily ever after. So I encourage women to take their happily ever after right now. What I'm talking about is, I don't know if you're interested in it or not, but I'm talking about how religious teachings teach women to suffer in marriage. I'm an author, and that's what I wrote my book about. And I wrote a poetry book, and I was just like raging at the patriarchy and the machine and just letting out my frustrations and all that stuff. And so I got all of my little ones in here. Oh, the book is called Good Woman, Bad Arrangement, The Sacred Vows That Silenced Her. And that's on Amazon. But the book I'm talking about, yeah, I could barely read, but somehow I wrote a book. So, yeah, anyway. Religion teaches women to suffer in marriage, and that's no secret now, because that's all they I ain't gonna say that's all they talking about on TikTok, but when you look at a lot of women coming out and they expressing their grievances with their relationships, I mean, that's what they're saying, how they basically didn't get anything for all their suffering and all the labor that they put into their relationships. Yeah. So anyway, I take scripture by scripture and I flip the script on it and come from a woman's perspective that's actually caring about herself and how she feels. Religion teaches a woman to negate how she feels in her heart and her spirit, and just to do anything to keep the relationship together. Single mothers for a reason. I'm a single mother of 10, but 3 of them are grown. And I'm actually a grandmother as of this year. So yeah. And that was by choice. The reason is I decided to divorce my husband. That's how I got single. I decided to divorce. Thank you for saying I'm hot. Yes, I appreciate that. But anyway, my book is not even that big, but it's so powerful. I compare it to a stick of dynamite. It's tiny with a lot of impact. It's like boom, and it resonates with those who it's supposed to resonate with. But anyway, for instance, women base a lot of their life choices on that book, on the Bible. It's the book I'm talking about. And what? I can't change the batteries. I'm in the middle of a live, sweetheart. Can you wait till I'm done? Okay, when I'm done, I'll tell the man of this house, well, this apartment, to change those batteries, because yeah, I'm not about to do it. Yes, if that's bothering you, you could turn off, because I'm not getting up to change no battery for you, baby. Anyway, so religion teaches women to turn the other cheek and forgive their men for all types of stuff, all types of crazy stuff. I ain't told him not one time. I thought about telling him last night to change the battery, but I was mad and I wasn't talking to him. So I didn't tell him to change the batteries, but we got extra batteries around here. You think he'd change it on his own. Don't gotta tell nobody to do nothing. Always on the woman. Always the woman's fault. That's what I'm telling you. Religion teaches everybody there's always a woman to blame. From the beginning to the end, even the damn fire alarm is the woman's fault. Y'all need to focus on the message and not on the fire alarm. If it's bothering you that much, you can click off. But anyway, women, when y'all do watch this playback, there's women out here that don't listen to that BS anymore. Women like me who have authored their own story about not taking no BS anymore. And, really just putting yourself first. Now, I don't encourage, I'm not encouraging no breakups. I'm not encouraging lesbianism, although I am queer. I do identify as queer now, even after having a lot of children and being married a long time. But I'm not encouraging that either. What I'm encouraging a woman to do is who is deeply rooted in religion, to pause off that hamster wheel of just seeking out advice from religious teachers and religious counseling and just the Bible and just beating herself up because the relationship is not working. I encourage you to pause from that advice. Think about what's going to be the best thing for you to do individually as a woman and the best for your family in the long run. Because see, another reason why women stay in those type of bad relationships is because they think they're doing what's best for the children. And they want the children to be in the same household with their father. They don't want to repeat a breakup, a divorce, a broken home like their parents. And, they try to be a generational curse breaker like I myself did, So I stayed in it. I stayed in that thing for a long time because I didn't want to be a stereotype. I didn't want to be a quote unquote single mother who divorced her husband for no reason and come on live and get teased by strangers talking about single mother for a reason and all that kind of bullshit. Like, who wants to go through that? A woman thinks long and hard before she decides to leave a relationship. And once she decides to leave that relationship, if she is not heavily indoctrinated and she can think clearly for a second, she'll stay out of it. But did you know it takes a woman up to 7 times of trying to leave before she stays gone for good? So a woman can leave a bad relationship and do the best thing and then come back. And then leave again and come back. And then leave again and come back and 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 leave again and come back. Because it's a cycle. It's a pattern and it's hard to break. It's really hard to break. And that's why women should get a lot of encouragement. They should get a lot of praise for breaking that type of bad trauma bond cycle. But no, you're not really going to get that out here. You're not really gonna get that out here. You have to just be cool with it in yourself. That's why so many women who leave those relationships, they find peace in themselves and they hang on to it, because you ain't gonna get like applause for leaving a bad relationship. You're gonna get teased because people see you rising above a program, and they see you doing for yourself. And I don't know why it is like that, but that's just how it is. I don't know why it's like that. We should be applauded for doing what's best for us, for our mental health, for our emotional health, despite what strangers or haters got to say, despite what the God of the Bible have to say. So be careful, women, when you're out looking for marriage advice from religious teachings and religious authors, because 9 times out of 10, they're going to tell you how to work that thing out where you staying in that same situation. Now, I'm not saying all marriages and stuff that are bad are like just hopeless and no change is possible. No, I'm still a little bit hopeful, but my message is to just start taking your power back from this Bible or from your husband, seeing him as the God, as seeing your husband as beyond like fault, like just because he's there, just because you're out in the house, that's enough. No. And you're gonna do whatever, just so y'all could be together. Child. Anyway, the heavy judgment on women staying in these types of relationships is lifting. It's lifting if it's not already lifted. Like, some women find out faster or sooner than others that it's okay to stop suffering in marriage, and some don't ever find it. They stay until their husbands die. Usually y'all die first, guys. But that stress from that relationship can actually kill the woman. Can actually kill that woman before her time to go. And you don't want to be just spend your life stuck in a bad marriage, and then the next thing you know, your husband is up there with his side chick at your funeral, and you done did all that suffering for nothing. He can't even respect you enough to let you be in the grave and not be with another woman. These guys are foul sometimes. But yeah, stress kills. I just want to say that. Stress from a bad relationship can kill you. Or you can be triggered to a point where you snap and kill that man. There's crimes of passion for a reason. There's shows called Snap for a reason. You don't want to be like that. And listening to religious teachings that tells you to just forgive and forgive and forgive will have you weak and feeling like a doormat. Have your self-esteem in the toilet. Just ready to be flushed out, and you just walking corpse. Because your whole self-esteem is gone, because you putting up with so much trash in your relationship because the Bible told you to do so. Or that's all you knew from, church. I mean, I wish it wasn't the case that so many of us were being conditioned to just tolerate all types of nastiness in relationships, but so many of us are. Even men, even men sometimes get caught up in that, forgiving a crazy wife. But more often than not, it's the women forgiving a crazy ass, abusive ass husband. Mommy, what's Cece? Daddy got up with me. Can I see? Oh, you can forgive, but that don't mean you gotta stay with that man. You can forgive, but you also don't have to forgive. Actually, you don't. You could be mad at him forever. What? So what? That means you probably won't stay with him. But some people like to see people miserable. Some people like to see people miserable. And staying in a bad relationship is a surefire way to be miserable and bitter. For sure. So my book, Good Woman, Bad Arrangement, The Sacred Vows That Silenced Her, is a power-packed dynamite type of book for a woman who is done suffering in marriage under religious indoctrination, and she wants to see the light somewhere. She's looking for answers and clues on how to make her relationship work. But, you know, the problem is what you're thinking and how you view the relationship. And, you know, you think you gotta forgive everything he does, and that ends up hurting you more than it does strengthening your relationship with him. He just sees you as weaker and weaker every time. He just knows you're gonna put up with more and more stuff every time, because that's what you do. That's what you do. You get mad and you forgive. You get mad, you forgive, and then you make up. You have some good sex, maybe make a baby or two, and then he does it again until you catch him again, until he hits you again. So this is my book, Good Woman, Bad Arrangement. It's a small dynamite book for women who are done seeking out advice that gives you the same old answer to forgive. You ain't gotta do that. You do not have to do that. And you be mad if he can't make it up to you. Then I guess he don't want it. I guess he don't want the relationship. Why can't a woman be upset that a man done did something to her and let him try to make it right? What's wrong with that? If you messed up, you should try to make it right. Not just forgive and then don't do nothing to make it better. Not change, because they don't change hardly. You know. So this is my book. Kids. Ain't she beautiful? This is your diary. Write in it. Let your wild truth spill. Because when you really get in touch with yourself and and how you really think about the relationship and the situation, oh, you're gonna have some wild revelations. You're gonna be like, what? You're gonna have something to say. So I provide space in this book for people to write their own thoughts. Because, you know, the goal and the thing I'm trying to get women to do is love yourself more. Love yourself more so that you want to be happy. So many of us are conditioned to be unhappy. You know, and our relationships play a big role in us being happy. And just not even the relationship, but how you view yourself in a relationship. How what he does make you feel in a relationship. So sometimes what you got to do is not leave the relationship, but it's to just get a different perspective on what he's doing. So you pulling my hair. I don't want my hair pulled right now. Maybe at some point, but not right now. So anyway. Yeah, I want women to do this. And when you are raised by Bible thumping Christians, by Baptist people, by religious programming, 9 times out of 10, you're not gonna do too much of loving yourself. You're gonna do more of beating yourself up. You're gonna do more self-blaming. You're gonna do more self-reflecting that ends with you're the bad person. You know, it takes a lot for a woman to shake off stuff like religious teachings and start to actually love herself. It takes a lot for a woman to do this. And when we get to this place, we get people who gets on our live and say, oh, you should, you know, oh, you're selfish, or you're a single mother, you know, blah 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 blah. And when you really just starting to love yourself and be happy. I don't know why people like that. But anyway, you can find my book by Goddess T. Marie. Follow my Amazon page because I have more work to come. One of the projects I'm working on is called Iceman, and I think that's interesting. I got the idea of Iceman because of the guy that I'm dealing with. He's like emotionally cold a little bit sometimes, and instead of throwing the baby out with the bathwater, because he does benefit my life a lot, I decided to take my frustration and write some poetry about it. A poetry about him and men like him that are emotionally unavailable or get emotionally cold sometimes, stonewalling, stuff like that. So my upcoming project, Iceman, is going to delve into that type of mentality. And it's poetry. I'm a poet. I'm an author. I'm a mother. I'm an ex-wife. So anyway, yeah. Women, we got to start loving ourselves more, and I'm so glad that so many of us are, and I feel like right on time in a sense. And I have to start speaking up right now because like other women are speaking up. They speaking up about their stories. They're speaking up about the truth about what happens behind closed doors in their relationships. And I mean, what's the point of me being left out? Like, I went through the same stuff. I was married almost 20 years. I have, 10 children by that man. 10. Thank you. Hello. Hello, India. Hello, India. Yes, appreciate y'all. And India is also a place where religion's teaching has shaped the way women operate in their relationships, I'm sure. Because it's all over the world. Women have been taught to put themselves last all over the world. And it's time we start putting ourselves first, because without us, the family is not going to stay together. We have that power, and they don't want us to know that we have that type of power to shut all of this down, to shut it all down. But yeah, of course, I'm mama, so they migrate to wherever I'm at. You don't lie, don't cry, baby. Where's your medal? There we go. There we go. But yeah, women, love yourself this holiday. Put yourself first. Don't overburden yourself with making everyone else happy but you. Don't, make everyone's plate and serve yourself last. Don't,